Hi everybody, it's Bailey from Save Stores, and I just wanted to hop on and let you guys know that Brother is running a special promotion on their top of the line machines. And so I wanted to come on and show you the new Brother Aveneer EV1 that just came out and show you some of the features that kind of make this machine different than what the older top of the line, not older as of a year ago, it was the Luminaire. And a lot of people that come to our store have those machines. So I want to show you guys kind of the differences between them. And I also just want to talk about the promotions that are running for Mother's Day. So first I want to go over this machine, and we'll go over the sewing side first. So looking at the machine, it is massive, it is perfect. It is a tabletop long arm. So I use this machine start and finish to do all of my quilting. I use it to do all of my piecing, as well as my quilting, and I will show you how I do the quilting after I show you the sewing side. So on the sewing side, you'll notice I have a huge touch screen that's almost like a tablet here, as well as 14 inches in the throat space. So I have lots of workspace to create my projects. So you also will notice that there are buttons up here that we don't really know what they mean, but this machine is equipped with a projector. And that projector allows us to use it for grid lines or positioning lines, and you can turn off the grid, and I like to set my line at my center needle, and then I'll turn on my sub line at my 1/4 inch. So that is used for the projector, as well as on the decorative side you can select a stitch that you think you might want. And let's see, these bumblebees are really cute. Okay, so I say, yeah, I think I like, and we're gonna turn that off. I think I like those bumblebees, but I wanna make sure that it's gonna look how it looks on the screen. So I'm gonna touch right here. And you can see the actual stitch projected onto my fabric. And the coolest thing about this is that maybe I want these bees to be more spread apart. So I need to adjust the length. But instead of doing it on my screen, I can use this pin to adjust the length of the stitch right on the fabric. And once I get it to how I like, I just drop my foot and I just start sewing. This machine is full auto tension as well as auto foot pressure, so it can feel how many layers and what type of fabric that you're working on, and it automatically adjusts. It is absolutely amazing. New improved foot pedal that has 2 operations. The small pedal is programmable, so you can set it to cut your top and your bottom thread when you hit it, or you can set it to do a back tack. And you can see that there are my bees, and I have variegated thread in there right now. But so that projector is amazing. The first thing you'll also realize if you've seen the Luminaire is that the projector, instead of 2x4, is 5x8. So it is huge, and we don't have to have that little square and slide it around our screen trying to see what we're working on. So, and that's just on the sewing side. So there also is, they have tons of decorative stitches. So these aren't embroidery, these are in the sewing side, and these are all categories. And each category is filled with a stitch. But on the sewing side, being auto tension as well as auto foot pressure is a big thing, especially for quilters or garment makers. You can sew on anything with it. So you obviously have your basic utility stitches, our straight stitch, our hand look stitch, our built-in basting stitch. Those stitches are all still there. automatic buttonholer and all the good stuff. So that is really my favorite things on the sewing side. And then let's go into embroidery, because I want to show you. I did a monogram earlier before I got on the video, because I want to make just a plain pillow, very simple pillow with a monogram. And I already did the monogram here. So I already stitched out the monogram, but I want to show you guys how I quilt the background on this machine, because like I said, this machine is a tabletop long arm, and so we can learn and teach you guys how to do this from start to finish. So I'm gonna go ahead. Also, the biggest thing on the upgrade as well is that you're gonna notice that the hoop is huge. This is 11 5/8 by 18 1/4. So it is way bigger than the Luminaire, and it also has 2 ratchets on each side, which I love because it's perfect almost every single time. So I'm gonna get into the embroidery screen here, and it's gonna calibrate my arm. Another thing I want to point out is that you'll see this white platform back here. That is a built, it is detached. You can detach it if you'd like, but that is for this big hoop when you're embroidering, and it's a support table. So that if you have something super heavy in, and the needle is stitching in the top of the hoop, the back of it does this, and it can be bad for the machine, or it can pop your fabric out of your hoop. So that is a big upgrade on the sewing side. But so there's 2 different ways that we can do the quilting on this. So like I said, I already stitched this out, but I saved it in my memory so I can show you guys the first way how I could quilt this if I wanted to. So, and how I prefer. So I'm just gonna pull this up because I'm gonna pretend I already had it pulled up. So right here in the embroidery screen, I have the option to touch this button here. And what that button does is it automatically, I tell it what hoop I have, it fills the hoop with quilting all the way up to my embroidery design. And if I don't like how close those are, I can adjust the spacing and make them farther apart. And maybe I don't want a stipple and I want to do one of the built-in background fills. And that is one, but I also have the choice to do custom, upload my own, or pick from any of these and just choose. And I can adjust the size. And I can say, okay, I like it. And now I have a fully stitch regulated background quilting design ready to go. Already fitted to my hoop all the way up to my embroidery. And this is really nice for when we're trying to quilt blocks that have appliques and you don't want to do your background quilting over your applique. So this is the way that we get around it, and how we also can do edge to edge with the background quilting because of the projector and the camera. And like I said, we offer free classes for life on all of our machines, so we teach you how to do that. But that is option number 1. And option number 2, really quick. So I'm gonna get out of embroidery, and because maybe I didn't embroider this, and maybe I wanna embroider something that already has stitching on it. So I'm gonna go into my design center, and I am going to use the built-in camera on this machine and take and scan my hoop. And what this does is it is taking a picture of everything that is fit in my hoop right now. So I would load my quilt in the area that I wanted to do my quilting, and then I scan. And this is a big hoop, and it does it way faster than the Luminaire for the big one. Couple passes. The processor's way faster on this machine as well. So when you're trying to tell it to do something, you don't have to wait and get the Death Star. They also upgraded this, the bobbin winder. They made the stopper adjust more far back, and the bobbins are 10% bigger on this machine. So there is my M. So I can see my quilting, and I can see where it's at, and I now can build my background quilting. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a shape, and I have a square hoop, and I'm gonna grab a filled shape, and I'm gonna press OK. I now am going to size it, and I know how big my hoop is, so I'm just gonna type how big it is. And I'm just gonna do 18, set 18 by 11. And I go a little in, not too much though. Okay, so that is my shape size to fill my hoop. But right now, I need, where this dark red is, I need to erase it wherever I do not want stitching. And with these buttons, you can adjust the transparency. But now I need to grab my eraser. Excuse me. Grab my eraser, and I can zoom in if I would like to. And I'm just going to erase, excuse me. And you can get as close as you'd like or as far as you'd like. You just go around. I don't like being zoomed in actually. Okay, and I'm just doing this quick and dirty, but you get as close as you can to the line. And I'm just going on the outside of it right now, and I can go back when at the end and fix whatever I missed. Okay, and then just erase, because I want to make sure that it's not. And then if I accidentally erase something I didn't want to erase, I can draw it back. So you have full control, but I'm just doing it quick and dirty. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, okay, do I want to do a stipple, or do I want to pick from one of the built-in quilting designs? And I'm going to pick just a random one, basket weave. Okay. Now I am going to dump the quilting on the background, and then I'm going to come back in here and say, hey, no stitching on the inside of my applique. And it deleted all of the stitching. And like I said, if I missed anything, I can grab my eraser and come back in and erase anything that is overlapping, or draw anything that you didn't mean to erase. But then you press next. This is the screen where I can make the basket weaves much bigger. I can change the direction. And I can adjust the thickness, so I can say not triple stitch, just single stitch, because it's going to be like regular long arm quilting. And I say, okay, yes, that looks good. It says it's going to be converted to an embroidery design. That's okay. I then have my projector to double check that the quilting is not going to touch the inside of my M. How cool is that? So I have 3 ways to check. I have the camera because it took a picture so I know where it's going. I have the projector, and then I have in the beginning when we scanned it in. So you have the built-in picture, the live, and the projector. So I know for sure that this is gonna be okay and I don't need to change anything. So all I have to do is press go, and I have full stitch regulated quilting. So it is, like I said, it is a tabletop long arm. It is a tabletop long arm, and you can do all of your projects start to finish. And you also will get free education for life here at Save Stores. And we are located in tax-free Portland, Oregon at 6701 Southeast Foster Road. And I will tell you guys that a Brother is doing 72 months, 0%, you see that? 72 months, 0% financing, but it is only until Saturday. So again, 0% financing for 72 months on this machine, as well as the multi-needles. And the multi-needles actually have the same interface when doing our quilting with the camera, and how it took a picture and how you can build your own quilting. So both those machines can do that feature. But yeah, this is a great machine. It is lots of upgrades from the Luminaire. It comes with a stitch regulator, so if you don't want to do stitch regulated long arming with the embroidery unit, you can use your stitch regulator. So that is a first for Brother. But yeah, Heidi, you can come and show them real quick. So you can see that it is just like if I were to throw it on a long arm, and it's perfect. And I have so many options to choose from. So yeah, we are really excited about the Mother Day promotions. And again, we're doing buy 5, get 5 on thread until Saturday, as well as 25% off stabilizers, buy 1, get 1 on needles. And Brother is offering great financing terms for their top of the line. So if you were thinking about trading in your Luminaire, or maybe just making the jump and getting into a tabletop long arm, now is the time to do so. If you have any questions at all about anything that you saw in the video or any of the other machines that we carry, please give us a call. And again, I'm Bailey, and you can reach us at 503-775-7283, or come see us at 6701 Southeast Foster Road in tax-free Portland, Oregon. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.